You already saw the title of the video, so let's just get right into it.
Making her thoughts.
Making her thoughts.
Making her
Making her
thoughts.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm Mickey and I talk about the Barbie movie. Today is all about Fairytopia. The main character is called Elina. She lives in a world of fairies and magical creatures, but she herself doesn't have any wings. This doesn't seem to bother her all that much, even when some fairies are mean to her for it. This is her friend, Dandelion. No, not that Dandelion. This Dandelion. They hear that Topaz, one of the garden fairies, has been captured. Given that this fairy is known for her strength, Elina and Dandelion dismiss the claim as a simple rumor. We meet the villain, Laverna, and we also learn that Topaz really had been kidnapped. Laverna is the sister of the queen and wants to take her throne. The two have always had a strained relationship, so to say, but the queen hoped things would get better. Laverna poisoned her sister but didn't kill her, just had her sleep with no way of waking up. But she's not dead. Now, her plan is to kidnap all the fairy guardians, but not because she needs them specifically, but rather their necklaces which they got from the queen. These necklaces contain a magic so powerful that when combined together, they can make Laverna the mightiest fairy. She also created a gas which stops fairies from flying. So once every fairy's wings have been tampered with, she can step in as the hero and give them the antidote. The next day, Elina notices that her house, which is a peony, has wilted, and Dandelion tells her that some fairies can't fly anymore. The only fairies who can help are the guardian fairies, and even the closest one, Azura, is too far away. But Elina is determined to find her. Dandelion and Bibble join her. The issue is that they reach a sort of woods where it gets pretty difficult to tell where you are. So Dandelion flies to check how much longer they need to go, but her wings don't work anymore. Elina is sure there is an illness going around stopping fairies from flying, so she sends her friend home. Elina and Bibble get to a border to go into the next town and meet Azura, but the guard there won't let them pass. They manage to sneak past him while he is distracted, and they get to Azura. Initially, Azura was reluctant to let them in, but she sees that Elina has the rainbow in her eyes, signaling that she is a fairy destined to do great things. She gives them something to eat and drink and even allows them to stay over for the night. Azura needs to go to a friend of hers, Dahlia, who used to be friends with Laverna. Because the journey is so long, she gives Elina her necklace so nothing happens to it. Azura is captured by one of Laverna's fungi, and Elina is caught by the guard from before. She manages to flee with the help of Hugh, a butterfly sent by Azura. When Laverna sees that Azura doesn't have her necklace, Fungus explains that he saw it on a fairy without wings who was sleeping at Azura's place. Scared of the wingless fairy, who isn't affected by the sickness, Laverna sends her firebirds to capture her. So Elina, Hugh, and Bibble's first stop is at a lagoon where they hide from the birds. They get further without being caught with the help of a merman, Prince Nalu, who gives them a special seaweed that can help them breathe underwater and continue their journey swimming. Part of this scene was definitely to give Elina a possible love interest because there isn't one in the whole film. But yeah, then Hugh takes Elina to the place where Dahlia lives. Only Elina goes from here as Hugh is affected by the flying sickness, so he rests, and Bibble stays with him. Dahlia doesn't want to help because it feels like she would be doing it for the garden fairies whom she doesn't like. Once she left Laverna's side, Dahlia tried to warn the others, but out of all the guardians, only Azura believed her, the others thinking that she was some sort of spy. Elina tells her that she doesn't have to do it for the guardians, but for the friends she hadn't met yet, a saying which Azura lives by. Even in her house, she has plenty of chairs and food, although it's only her who stays there. This convinces Dahlia to come and help. The team gets to Laverna's palace, and Elina manages to sneak past the guards because she went by foot. Most of the guards were in the sky flying, so she wasn't spotted. Elina reaches the palace where the guardians are captured, and where she notices that her friends have been brought too, as they were caught. Laverna promises to let them go only if she puts the necklace back in Azora. Of course, Elina declines, but Laverna bewitches her and gives her a pair of wings, or an illusion of them, so to say. Elina almost puts the necklace around Azora's neck, but retracts it quickly. Still, this doesn't seem to have helped because now all of the magic was put into one crystal. Elina takes the necklace, throws it, and breaks that crystal. There's a wave of colors forming around Laverna, which sends her to a prison. We don't see it in this film, but it's in the sequel. For her bravery, the queen gifts Elina with a magical necklace, which gives her her very own pair of wings, and everyone lives happily ever after, or until the sequel comes out. With the summary out of the way, we can begin to analyze the characters. Elina. Elina is a pretty strong character from the start. We already know of her distinctive feature, the fact that she is a wingless fairy. She doesn't let others dictate her life and doesn't show that comments regarding her wings or lack thereof affects her. And yet they do. Right after the moment those fairies teased her, she is visibly upset, but brushes it off quickly like she never even gave it a thought. And when Laverna tries to get her by her side, she notices that while she never says so, Elina always wanted wings of her own. But it is the fact that she doesn't have any wings that she is able to save the fairies. For one, fairies rely heavily on flying and don't really walk, which is why a sickness which prevents you from flying basically leaves you immobilized, because they would get tired after a few steps ahead. Elina, on the other hand, has only ever known walking, and she uses her creativity and intelligence to get places without flying. She is able to sneak past the guard here because she goes on foot, so it's easier to hide. The reason he's so high up is because, again, fairies fly, but she ran past him. Then she reaches this cliff and can't get out, but realizes there's a plant which can act as a parachute and uses it to fly. When hiding from the firebirds, she goes underwater, and at Laverna's castle, she got past the guards by hiding. Elina is secretly self-conscious about being a wingless fairy, but does not let it bother her too much on a daily basis. Having no wings in a society that was built around creatures that can fly made her develop creative ways of working with life, which made her the perfect person to save fairies from Laverna. She is also quite modest, as she doesn't take full credit for saving everyone, naming people like Hugh, Dahlia, and Bibble. Nonetheless, the queen rewards Elina with what she's always wanted: wings. Dahlia. Dahlia used to be Laverna's friend. When she realized how evil Laverna truly was, she left and tried doing the right thing by warning the guardians about her, but nobody believed she was a good person except for Azora. I'm not sure where Dahlia lived before, but my theory is that she moved into these faraway woods after her encounter with the guardians as a result of how bitter she felt towards them. She doesn't want to help Elina because she's sure at first she's just like every other fairy looking for a favor, and maybe someone who will just use her and then toss her away. But once she sees she's similar to Azora and she truly believes in her, Dahlia puts her bitterness aside and joins the team. I think Dahlia is a really interesting character, and it won't be the only time I will find a side character fascinating. I mean, it's happened before with Penelope and Barbie as Rapunzel, and it will happen again with more to come, like Luciana from Barbie as the Island Princess, who is actually one of my favorite characters from the Barbie films. Laverna. Laverna is the villain. She wants to take over her sister's throne, and it is clear her moral foundation is held together by nothing. She poisons her sister, kidnaps the guardians, and then makes every fairy unable to move, only to then be their hero by being the one who has the antidote. She's a really good villain who will come into play again in the next Fairytopia films. I think her plan was very well executed, but the failure stems from the fact that she didn't take into account that material wishes don't always outweigh wanting to do the right thing. The Queen. The queen is loved and respected by all fairies, except for her sister. She shows compassion and kindness towards any of her subjects, and that's what makes her a good queen. To be a great queen, you also have to understand that some people are just bad. I find the queen naive at times. I mean, I know she is your sister, but why would you believe that she wants peace after all the time you've been fighting? Just out of the blue. This doesn't happen. Unfortunately, it won't be the last time we see her act naively. I understand she follows her heart and all, but sometimes you have to use your head too. I feel mean for saying that, so to be more positive, I want to take a moment to appreciate her design. The way her character is animated is very beautiful in my opinion and truly suits the aesthetic of a queen. Bibble. Bibble is a character which has gone past the Barbie fandom, similarly to Preminger from The Princess and the Pauper. He is a funny side character meant mostly for comedic relief, and it works. He is a fun little adorable fluff who stays loyal to Elina no matter what. The love story, or lack thereof. This is the first of the Barbie movies where there isn't a clear love story between the Barbie and the Ken character. Sure, you have that one sequence with Nalu, but I don't know how much it actually counts. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I believe that movies like this are just as important as those with love stories. Now, that doesn't mean we have to scrap them entirely because they have their own role. But as seen with Nalu, I think was meant to leave an open story for them, but they changed it with Mermaidia. Foreshadowing. We see Elina here playing with Bibble and throwing a ball for him to catch. Her aim is absolutely perfect as it lands right in the middle of Bibble's fur. Thankfully, he isn't hurt, but this scene foreshadows the ending where she throws the necklace at the crystal the exact same way with perfect precision. Another instance of gorgeous writing from the creators of these films. Metaphors. When Laverna tries to trick Elina, she gives her these green wings, which aren't even real. They're an illusion, just like the deal she proposed. Laverna was probably going to get rid of Elina after she got all the power, but made her think they would be allies. Even if Laverna did keep Elina, it would only be for her own comfort, and it would be a servant-friend type relationship, so the illusion of friendship. This is it for this video. If you enjoyed it and would like to see more like this one, I have a few more on my channel, and I post weekly about the Barbie movies. If that interests you, don't forget to subscribe and press the notification bell to know when I post a new video. Next week, we are discussing Barbie and the Magic of Pegasus. Until next time, bye!